Very early start for me this morning. Had to get up super early so I could do a long run before it got too hot. So 35 Ks in the bank, pretty happy. It's very hot, very tough. So had a guy last night booked for a call. Hasn't rocked up, obviously. So that's awesome. I'm probably just gonna have some food and go back to bed for a little bit, to be completely honest. Worked pretty late last night just on scripting out organic content and looking for new ideas to talk about and trying to refine my content pillars, because as one of my biggest things I've said is I really need my organic social to grow, and to do that I need to post interesting content and stuff that people actually want to interact with. Haven't found the formula yet, so just going to keep refining, reviewing everything I post, and just keep making changes as I go along. But yeah, today's be a bit of a slow start, obviously. Just gonna try and rest up for a little bit, otherwise I'll burn out. We got a big dinner function tonight, but other than that, should be good. Super hot here today, Saturday. It's a big festival on our street, so lots happening, but I'll update you a bit later on once I've gathered myself and have something to show for it. Day 11, technically probably not, but counting it as day 11 because the weekend was just a write-off. Put 35 Ks in the legs on Saturday morning and it was so hot and just didn't really recover that well. Had a massive headache, couldn't really concentrate, so Saturday was out of action for me, and then Sunday we were just with family, so one of those weekends, didn't really get anything done, which kind of played on my mind, but not really, because last week was tough. Like, we just didn't get any traction and it sucked. But fresh week, feeling good, had a very busy morning, just focusing on things that I can kind of control at the moment. So I'm waiting for the developer to rebuild our website, so that's out of my hands at the moment, so I can't get stressed about that. We've turned all the ads right down in terms of spend, just because we're pushing to a page that clearly isn't converting, and no one's really working, no one's really taking the actions that we want them to in terms of booking calls. So pulled all the spends back for now, and we're just going to wait and see what happens with the new site. Once we can get that launched, I do have a good feeling about it. I think we need some new ads as well, because what I've found is our ads run really hot for maybe a day. They get a lot of spend to them, maybe a couple of bookings in a day, which is really good. The metrics all look really good, and then they kind of just die out. So something's clearly not resonating well enough with the market. We're finding a handful of people when we first launched the ads, and it's great, but the underlying messaging and the offers clearly not there yet. So that's a really big thing that I need to work on and keep pushing towards, and that's kind of been my only focus today, has just been coming up with new ad angles and coming up with new content for my organics as well, because still trying to push those along as much as I can, and still trying to simultaneously get some traction organically, which I think will help our paid ads a lot. Haven't cracked the code yet, but I feel like I am getting better and improving. I'm doing this all myself, so I don't have an editor to cut up all of my clips and add animations and make them really engaging. So it's been a learning process for me. It's slow, it's laborious, but I'm getting better already. Even this intro that I made for a new reel I'm about to post, pretty happy with it. So I could show you here.
This is an interesting story about one of Australia's most famous e-commerce brands. I stumbled across...
So even just that little, I guess, animated text, the sound effects, I wouldn't have done that previously. But those first 5 seconds are so crucial. No one knows who I am. No one knows anything about me and my story. So I need to capture their attention as quickly as possible, and I need to create content that is interesting. So if I go and look back at the last probably 6 reels I've posted, one of them got 4,000 views, and that was like a really broad speaking topic about high rocks and the business behind it. So I can see a path to this working. I just need to get the execution right, and the content needs to support that. So every day I'll probably post something e-commerce related, and then every once a week or maybe twice a week I'll post something that's a bit more broader business based, and hopefully that starts to bring in a few more eyeballs, because the content is quite niche if it's just purely e-commerce all the time, and I feel like it's a slower lift or like it's a slower process to be able to gain an audience. So if I can provide value always, but provide entertainment to the masses at the same time, those two things should go hand in hand. And conventional wisdom says that will be the best way to leverage, I guess, my experience and be able to build a following. Because it all just comes back to attention, and I don't care about how many followers per se, but the ones that I have right now don't care about the offer that I'm selling. So even if I had 2,000 extra followers and 2,000 engaged people in terms of they're interested in e-commerce, they had businesses, they wanted to know what I said, that weren't just my friends and family, like that's a really, really beneficial thing for me, and what I'm trying to build. So yes, I have some followers, but they're not the people that care about, I guess, what I do, or what I can do for them, because they don't have the businesses and they're not in the e-commerce world. So it's just trying to find those people and get in front of them. Ideally, like getting to 10,000 is the goal. I've said that all along. 10,000 by the end of the year would be the goal, and I think it's definitely achievable. It's just about consistently posting and getting the right messaging across. But yeah, the day is pretty much over. Not really. It's late afternoon, but rest of the day is just going to be about editing. I'm just working through all these edits that I've created at the moment. Working through all the raw footage that I've got at the moment. So cleaning that up, editing that, and then I do have a little bit of existing client work to knock over as well. So I'll either get to that tonight or tomorrow, but just about onboarding them still, building out their initial, I guess, review and order of looking at what they've done previously, looking at where they want to get to, and then trying to marry those up in terms of, okay, these are the things that I can action, these are the things that they can action, and this is how we achieve their goals of growing their business. So it is tedious and it takes a while, and there's lots of reviewing to go through and understanding what's worked, what hasn't, questions to be asked, but that's just the part of the day-to-day that has to get done. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at in terms of day 11 at the moment. A little bit of a boring one in terms of an update, but yeah, there's just a little bit of a waiting game at the moment in terms of till we can get some new ads and a new landing page fixed and published.